Jesus' death and the resurrection represents the climactic episode in John's selective retelling of Jesus' words and works.
Mark tells us a young man is seen, clearly an angel, who announces the resurrection. Jesus is not here, he says. He has arisen. Then he says he's going ahead of you into Galilee. The resurrection appearances will take place. Some of the resurrection appearances certainly will take place in Galilee.
The resurrection is God's act on behalf of Jesus. And by raising him from the dead and by Jesus telling us where he has gone as a result to the right hand of God, we see the vindication of who Jesus claims to be, the nature of his ministry, the associations that he makes with the kingdom of God. In vindicating Jesus, we also get a vindication of the program of Jesus that he presents in the Gospels, and this ends up being a supportive point to all that Jesus is saying and doing.
If Jesus had died and stayed dead, if nothing he had foretold had come to pass, then why turn one's life upside down to follow him?
Jesus' royal saving activity as the Davidic Messiah, his taking away the sins of the world, confronted Israel's illegitimate leadership, although it was the very fulfillment of Israel's eschatological hopes of restoration.
But when they meet the risen Jesus, everything is turned around. The mission continues, and they begin to preach in his name. But what gave them direction so they knew exactly what to preach, what really put fire in their bones and motivated them, was meeting the risen Jesus and hearing from him himself the Great Commission.
See, if you think about it, that's what we get in the Christian faith. We get the announcement of the resurrection, but we don't get a resurrection appearance. We don't actually see Jesus resurrected. We see the evidence that he's risen from the dead. We hear the announcement. How are we going to respond to that announcement? Are we going to respond with fear, or are we going to respond with faith?
And this death and resurrection was both the greatest of the signs Jesus performed, as well as the most lucid expression of divine revelation in salvation history.